what cancer is, how it develops, why cancer cells behave abnormally, and how cancer is treated. The big idea is, cancer happens when mutations disrupt normal cell cycle control, causing cells to divide uncontrollably. First concept, what is cancer? Cancer is a disease where cells divide uncontrollably and ignore normal cell cycle regulation. Normally, cells only divide when needed. Healthy cells follow cell cycle checkpoints, stop dividing when crowded, repair DNA damage, or die if damage is severe. Cancer cells lose this control. They continue dividing even when they should stop. Mini summary. Cancer is uncontrolled cell division caused by failures in cell cycle regulation. Q&A. What is cancer? A disease involving uncontrolled cell division. Why is uncontrolled cell division dangerous? It can damage tissues and organs. Do normal cells divide uncontrollably? No. What controls normal cell division? Cell cycle checkpoints and regulatory genes. Next concept, why cancer cells are abnormal. Cancer cells behave differently from healthy cells. At least 3 abnormal features are: uncontrolled division, ignore cell cycle checkpoints, can spread to other tissues. Other abnormalities: abnormal shape, large nuclei, loss of specialization, avoid programmed cell death. Cancer cells also ignore density dependence. Normal cells stop dividing when crowded, but cancer cells continue dividing. Mini summary. Cancer cells are abnormal because they ignore normal growth controls and continue dividing. Q&A. What are 3 reasons cancer cells are abnormal? Uncontrolled division, ignore checkpoints, and can spread through the body. What is density-dependent? Cells stop dividing when crowded. Do cancer cells follow density dependence? No. Why do cancer cells form tumors? Because they continue dividing uncontrollably. Next concept, cell division rates. Not all cells divide at the same speed. Some cells divide frequently. Skin cells, intestinal lining cells, bone marrow cells. Other cells divide very slowly or rarely. Nerve cells, muscle cells. Fast-dividing cells are often more vulnerable to cancer because more DNA replication increases mutation chances. Mini summary. Different cell types divide at different rates, and fast-dividing cells often have higher cancer risk. Q&A. Do all cell types divide at the same speed? No. What are examples of rapidly dividing cells? Skin cells and intestinal cells. What are examples of slowly dividing cells? Nerve cells and muscle cells. Why can rapidly dividing cells have higher cancer risk? More cell division increases mutation chances. Next concept, cell cycle checkpoints. Cell cycle checkpoints are control points that monitor cell division. They check DNA damage, cell size, proper chromosome replication. If something is wrong, the cell cycle stops, DNA repair occurs, the cell may undergo apoptosis, programmed cell death. Mini summary. Cell cycle checkpoints help prevent damaged cells from dividing. Q&A. What is a cell cycle checkpoint? A control point that monitors the cell cycle. Why are checkpoints important? They prevent damaged cells from dividing. What can happen if DNA damage is detected? The cell cycle may stop for repair. What is apoptosis? Programmed cell death. Next concept, what happens if checkpoints fail? If checkpoints fail, damaged cells continue dividing, mutations accumulate, tumors may form. This is a major way cancer develops. Genes that regulate checkpoints are very important. Mini summary. Failed checkpoints allow damaged cells to divide and increase cancer risk. Q&A. What happens if cell cycle checkpoints fail? Damaged cells continue dividing. Why is checkpoint failure dangerous? Mutations can accumulate and lead to cancer. How can failed checkpoints lead to tumors? Abnormal cells continue reproducing uncontrollably. Next concept, mutations and cancer. Cancer usually develops after multiple mutations accumulate. Mutations can affect genes that regulate cell growth. Important gene types. Proto-oncogenes, normal genes that help cell growth. Oncogenes, mutated proto-oncogenes that overstimulate division. Tumor suppressor genes, genes that slow or stop cell division. If tumor suppressor genes stop working, damaged cells may divide uncontrollably. Mini summary. Mutations affecting growth-regulating genes can cause cancer. Q&A. How can mutations lead to cancer? Mutations can disrupt normal cell cycle regulation. What are proto-oncogenes? Normal genes that help regulate cell growth. What are oncogenes? Mutated proto-oncogenes that overstimulate division. What are tumor suppressor genes? Genes that slow or stop cell division. Why are tumor suppressor genes important? They help prevent uncontrolled growth. What can happen if tumor suppressor genes fail? Cancer risk increases. Next concept, mutagens and carcinogens. Mutagens are things that cause mutations. Carcinogens are substances or exposures that increase cancer risk. Many carcinogens act by causing DNA mutations. Examples: tobacco smoke, UV radiation, asbestos, some viruses, alcohol abuse. Not every exposure guarantees cancer, but risk increases. Mini summary. Carcinogens increase cancer risk mainly by causing mutations. Q&A. What is a mutagen? Something that causes mutations. What is a carcinogen? Something that increases cancer risk. How are mutagens connected to cancer? Mutations can trigger cancer development. What are examples of carcinogens? Cigarette smoke, UV radiation, and asbestos. Can all carcinogen exposure cause cancer? Not always, but risk increases. Next concept, benign versus malignant tumors. A tumor is a mass of abnormal cells. Benign tumors, non-cancerous, remain localized, usually spread slowly or not at all. Malignant tumors, cancerous, invade nearby tissues, can spread through the body. The spread of cancer is called metastasis. Mini summary. Benign tumors stay localized while malignant tumors spread and invade tissues. Q&A. What is a tumor? A mass of abnormal cells. What is a benign tumor? A non-cancerous tumor that stays localized. What is a malignant tumor? A cancerous tumor that can spread. What is metastasis? The spread of cancer to other body areas. Which type of tumor is more dangerous? Malignant tumors. Next concept, lowering cancer risk. Lifestyle choices can reduce cancer risk. Examples: avoid smoking, use sunscreen, eat healthy, exercise regularly, limit alcohol. Avoid excessive radiation exposure. Some cancers are strongly linked to lifestyle and environmental exposure. Mini summary. Healthy lifestyle choices can reduce cancer risk. Q&A. What lifestyle choices lower cancer risk? Avoid smoking, exercise, healthy diet, sunscreen use, and limiting alcohol. Why does smoking increase cancer risk? It exposes cells to carcinogens. How can sunscreen help prevent cancer? It reduces UV DNA damage. Next concept, cancer treatments. Common treatments include surgery, radiation therapy, chemotherapy. Surgery removes tumors physically. Radiation therapy uses high-energy radiation to damage cancer cells. Chemotherapy uses drugs that target rapidly dividing cells. Each treatment has advantages and disadvantages. Chemotherapy can also damage healthy, rapidly dividing cells like hair cells, digestive tract cells. This causes side effects like hair loss and nausea. Mini summary. Cancer treatments target cancer cells using surgery, radiation, or drugs, but treatments may also affect healthy cells. Q&A. What does surgery do in cancer treatment? Removes tumors. What is radiation therapy treatment? Using radiation to damage cancer cells. What is chemotherapy drug treatment? Targeting rapidly dividing cells. Why does chemotherapy cause side effects? Healthy, rapidly dividing cells may also be damaged. What are advantages of surgery? Can remove localized tumors directly. What are advantages of radiation therapy? Can target specific tumor areas. What are advantages of chemotherapy? Can treat cancer throughout the body. Final summary of the entire topic. Cancer is uncontrolled cell division caused by mutations disrupting normal cell cycle regulation. Cancer cells ignore checkpoints, divide uncontrollably, and may spread through the body. Mutations in proto-oncogenes and tumor suppressor genes are major causes of cancer. Carcinogens increase cancer risk by causing mutations. Benign tumors remain localized while malignant tumors spread. Cancer treatments include surgery, radiation therapy, and chemotherapy.